Today I'm going to grade check a pond that I built and then final grade it, get ready for the checkout in a couple days. Used to go right here, but something blocks it. Okay, let's get this thing grade checked. This is the benchmark. It's a railroad railroad spike. So I'm going to set my GPS right on that. As you can see, I'm going to get out my phone here. So we have a fix, and it's 1,084.3 feet. Now that's 1,084.3 feet, and this is to be 14 feet below that, so 1,070.3 feet is what I'm looking for over here, 3/10. So we'll go down here and see how close we are. Dug this down to what's close to grade last night. Already have some water seeping in, so need to get this finished up today before I have mud issues. Had to rip some rock to get down low enough. You can see the water starting to seep in right there, coming out of the hillside there. So right here should be pretty close to grade. We'll see what the phone says. 1,070.6, so I'm 3/10 high right there. So we'll try over here. Right on it, 1,070.3. So that's the grade. I just need to take out 3/10 right there. down to this grade right here, and I've got it. So now I'm going to go check the going to check the spillway and make sure the spillway grade is going in the right direction. And then all I have left to do is just dress it up. Got to pull my stake posts, get them out of the way. Grade her up, and it'll be ready for checkout. Now, it's really good that I've got one spot's exactly on grade, because then from the machine I can easily see what I need to do, judging by that. So when I get it finished, I'll come back to check it again. Should be spot on. So the overall depth of that is about 19 feet. Got 14 feet below the original grade, which is those posts right there. You can see around the edge of the T-post. Then I've got another 5 feet or so above those posts. Actually about 6 feet. So we're right at 20-foot depth. Just to give you an idea of what you're looking at. This is where the water will come in. There's a creek right here. And I put a berm across the creek to bring the water in here first. And then it will spill back out when it gets full. It'll spill back around the end of that berm and going down the creek. So this is built on the side of a creek to catch the water until it's full. Then the creek will just continue on. Goes on down that way. Now I know for some of you that are used to fishing in a creek, this is a funny looking creek to you, but this is a Texas creek. Runs when it rains. Okay, I'm going to do a grade check right here. See what we've got at this location. So we're 1,084 even, which is 3/10 lower than the benchmark. Just so I can remember that. Now we'll go back over here, see if it goes uphill or downhill. So the creek's coming in. It's about middle of the creek right here. So I'll see what I'm reading there. So that's flat, 1,084 even. Flat's okay because the berm catches it and turns it. So as long as I'm not lower, I'm fine. So it looks just like what I need. So check over here, the spillway. This is where it'll spill and go on down the creek when it gets full. So right here, our grade's 1,084.6, so we're 6/10 higher than we are where it goes in the pond. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And it will spill at about this location. So I've got 1,085 even right there. So I've got a foot above the edge that it will spill. It'll back up in here and start spilling when we're a foot above the edge of the pond, which is good because it'll hold water until right here, and then it'll run over going down the creek. And as the water goes down, it'll keep running in the pond to keep it full. So we'll keep it brim full as long as we have water in the creek. That's what you want. Did that by sight, but it worked out. It's going to work just right. See if I can get this camera set up where we can film a little bit of grading. Okay, thought I would tell you a little bit about the GPS equipment I use. This is a Reach RS2. Really like it. It's RTK, meaning sub-inch accuracy. And I use I use an internet connection for my correction, and I have it corrected with a hotspot. So I'm carrying a hotspot in my pocket. The RS also has a card in it. This hotspot's on Verizon. I've got a card in the RS2 on AT&T, and so if I'm in an area where AT&T works, then I don't have to have the hotspot. But out here it doesn't work out here, so I have to use Verizon, and so I use a hotspot. It works very well, easy to use, and for a one-man band, it's a perfect way to go. I don't have to set up a laser. I don't have to have anybody helping me. I can grade check anything quickly, and it's very accurate. And then I mount it on my machine, and I can get the readout in the cab as I'm working. So yesterday I had it mounted on the dozer blade, and I could watch, and when I was down to grade, I knew exactly where I was. That's how that spot was right on grade. I cheated and used this. I mounted it on the scraper, and I've got an automatic control on the scraper. I can load a design in the computer, and it will automatically follow the design, controls the hydraulics, so I can run on any grade. It doesn't have to be level. Anything I design can be a 3D grade, and the scraper will follow it using this mounted on the cutting blade. I'll probably show that in another video. Okay, time to crank up the machine and get something going. So, this is a typical Texas oil field. If you look closely, you can see lots of pump jacks out there. Just in a little sweep here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I can see. About half of them are pumping right now. That's the oil tank facility where it pumps them to, and then a truck comes in and loads that, takes it to the terminal. And this is the kind of ranch land you see around here. Those are piles of mesquite that have been bulldozed off in the past. And I finished building this pond yesterday that we're going to grade this morning, and then it'll be ready for them to come check it out and tell me if I did a good job or not. So I'm going to fire this up. I'm going to set the camera up on the berm where you can watch for a little bit, give you an idea of what grading looks like. I told the bulldozer it was going to be on YouTube today, and it needed to clean behind its ears. Anyway, clean behind this one, but it missed that one. So I'm going to have to shake it up a little bit and get that to fall off there. Okay, time to fire up and get going for the day. Hope you enjoy riding along. Here's a view from inside the dozer. Letting it warm up here a little bit. Bulldozers run on diesel fuel, and in my case, Diet Coke. A little free promo there. I'm sure they will probably send me a check in the mail. I have acid indigestion, and that helps to neutralize it. That's the only explanation I could come up with for why I drink it. So, I'm going to head over there and start doing a little grading. Thought I'd give you a little inside view before I move the camera out of the berm. When backing up, it's always a good idea to make sure you know where your pickup is. I know some guys that didn't do that. Didn't end well. One of them had a brand new pickup, they pushed a brush pile on top of it. So the moral is, do not park your pickup behind the brush pile. There's where mine is, right there. Try to keep that on high. Okay, so we'll shift up to second gear. We're going to track the way over here to the entrance. I like to go in and 103. And without air conditioning, and being an old man, it's a problem. Okay, this is the entrance to the lawn, so then I can go down in there and start grading the bottom, and then I'll work the sides. Okay, time to go park you on the berm. That's one grade flag right there. I like to mark them with T-posts. A lot easier to keep up with them. I already pulled a T-post on this one. Got all the other T-posts pulled out. Just won't pull the grade flag, I guess. Couldn't get that one out. So we'll have to take the dozer and dig it out. Then I can get started with some serious grading. So you can see I just have it roughed in now. You see there's lots of material I've got to get graded out. And here's a good flat rock right here. Look at this. This looks like a camera mount to me. We'll just clean her off here and be in business. quick view of the pond. I have it graded and ready, waiting for checkout. The engineer should be here Monday morning to check it out. Let me know if I'm done or not. I think I'm done. I hope I'm done. But he's the final say. So there's a view of the creek that comes down through here, and that berm turns it in here and down to the bottom. Fill it up, and there's about 6 feet of freeboard on the pond when it's full. What you girls have in mind, huh? Are you thinking thirsty or what? Walk on around here a little bit and see it from the other side. Couldn't have been better timing for this new dirt work, I know that. Got it all soaked down, settled in, looking good. There's a pretty good shot of the diversion terrace that brings the water into the pond.
John, I don't think I can touch bottom on it now. Thank you.